You're listening to the Grit to Growth podcast. Real talk with real business owners and professionals who built their freedom the hard way and now want more time, money, and impact.
All right. Well, welcome in, everyone. Thanks for being here. Today, I got joining me from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Erik Dwyer. He is a audio engineer and real estate investor, and I'll kind of let him get into it from there.
Sure. Hey, Levi. So audio engineering and real estate, they're both kind of side hustles for me. Trying to make real estate more of a full-time hustle, which I feel like I'm definitely getting there, getting busier and busier. But yeah, the audio engineering side, I mean, it's freelance audio engineering. I'm a contractor everywhere I work. I work at sporting venues, corporate events, hotel ballrooms, things like that. So it's live audio. It's not studio type of work.
Okay. Well, give me a little bit on how did you start first in the audio world or kind of in the real estate world?
So what's funny is both sort of started at the same time. I'm from St. Cloud, Minnesota. St. Cloud is a much cheaper market. Rents are much cheaper. So in 2011, I wanted to move to Minneapolis to go to school for audio engineering.
Yeah. Gophers?
What's that?
The Golden Gophers? Is that where you
No, I actually went to a small recording school called Institute of Production and Recording. But okay. I do work for the Gophers now. I work for Gopher Athletics. I was just there last night doing a high school graduation at Mariucci Arena. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, when you move to a small town to a big city, at least for me, I was shocked by rent prices. Rent in 2011 for one person in St. Cloud was maybe $300 a month.
Oh.
So I'm looking at studios in Minneapolis getting pretty freaked out by, $800 a month. Which, you say that today and that sounds like a good deal, but going from 300 to 800 price point, that's a little shocking. But in 2011, if you remember, that's the time when there were a lot of short sales and foreclosures going on. And so I started looking into short sale and foreclosure condos specifically, because condos were cheap back then. Condos were like 20, 30, 40K, get into a condo. And what if I bought a 2-bedroom condo, rented out the other bedroom? Would that be cheaper than renting? And the answer at the time was yes. So
you were still in school at this time, correct? Or just freshly out?
I was in school, yeah. So actually I went to St. Cloud State University for 2 years. Didn't really find what I wanted to do. But then I went to the Institute of Production and Recording in Minneapolis and finished up my time there. So that's when I moved to Minneapolis. So yeah, halfway through school, kind of picked up the audio engineering and real estate.
Very cool. And you were kind of getting into it. I'm curious on your first venture into real estate. You said you figured out it was cheaper to go that route. Give me a little bit more on that story.
Yeah, so everyone starts out in real estate, I feel like maybe not knowing what we're doing, right? So I didn't what I was doing was I was entering the landlord game and I was house hacking. Now that those terms don't, those are easy terms now, but back then, I mean, those are brand new terms. What is a mortgage? What is a lease? What is an eviction? What is a rent payment? But yeah, so this condo I bought, 2-bedroom, rented out the other bedroom, and it had a sunroom too. So I would sometimes Airbnb the sunroom. And this all was just like very exciting, and it was to me it seemed like this is what I like. This is what I want to do. So I just started looking at more short sale condos, and I don't know if you know about short sales or how long they take, but maybe they're quicker now, but back then you would put an offer on a short sale and you don't hear back from the bank for 4 to 6 months
Is
Just a
that
yes or
because they're
no.
not wanting to sell it at that price? Is that kind of so they're being slow, or do you know the reason kind of behind that?
My understanding was that at the time there were so many short sales that your offer
Mhm.
became a piece of paper in a big stack of papers
Just the
on
numbers game.
some banker's desk. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Well, yeah, so you basically used that obviously it did well for you, right? Piqued your interest and that launched you into getting into that, turning that side hustle into more of a career then, huh?
Yeah, I basically picked up one condo per year, small condos, one bedrooms, sometimes studios. And I gotta tell you, Levi, I hate condos now. I hate condos. I don't want any more condos. I've been selling them off. I'm down to one condo right now, besides the rest of my portfolio. But yeah, no more condos for me. If someone wants to buy, if someone, comes up and says, "Hey, should I buy a condo?" I'm never gonna say no. But for me personally, I'm done with HOAs and HOA dues and rules that they can make up
There's
at
more
any
red
time.
tape than you were wanting, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's say you own a rental condo for 2 years, and then next year they just make up a rule saying, "Oh, we're limiting the building to 50% rentals only," or "Oh, we're introducing $100 move-in fee, $100 move out fee for rental units."
And you have no control over that, right?
Not much, it's very
Yeah.
limited control. Yeah, townhouses though, townhouses have neighborhood HOAs, and those feel a much less invasive to me. So townhomes I'm cool with, but no more condos for me.
All right, let's so I'm gonna ask you more kind of what you're doing today on the real estate side of things, but let walk me through the audio engineering career to your early days there.
Sure. So audio engineering is a very much freelance friendly industry. I think it's just because it's so the demand for it ebbs and flows. So in the summer you need all hands on deck, and in the winter, you might not need so many people. So that doesn't work really for these production companies to have all these people on staff on a W-2.
Yeah.
So a production company might have 8 to 12 full-time staff, but 50 people on their freelance list.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, it's like construction, right? I mean,
Yeah.
construction crews, everybody's a contractor. Not
It,
everybody, but most people on site.
I come more from that world, and I was gonna say that sounded way more familiar to a contractor world than I was expecting. So how would one get on these people's radar to come do the work for them then?
A lot of it, unfortunately, for a new person in town, is word of mouth.
Okay.
Sometimes I would just email new production companies saying, "Hey, I'm a freelancer. I'd like to get on your call list." So these companies don't really have a now hiring sign out there, but they do have a call list, which is like they've got their internal list of contractors that they go to, and you give them a rate sheet, right? So they don't tell
Yep.
you how much you're getting paid. It's like hiring an electrician. Electrician ABC, they all have their own rates. So as a freelancer, you also have your own rate.
So hearing that, I'm sure there has to be an interesting story of getting into a job that maybe went a little funky for you. You got anything like that?
Uh, I mean, sometimes you get hired for a 4 hour job that turns into 12 just because the client keeps changing what they want. Client says, I did not want the stage here. I wanted it over there. What are these giant light fixtures you put on my ceiling? These are very distracting. I don't want these giant egg light fixtures on the ceiling. But um, yeah, so sometimes the tools that you bring to get the job done may might not fit the aesthetic the client wants.
Interesting. So it is a very kind of, you might have to pivot when you get on site and meet with this actual client, then it might be changing up extremely what you had in mind from the beginning, huh?
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people in my industry have changed to day rates instead of hourly.
Okay.
The industry used to just have 4 hour minimums where it's like, hey, if you hire me, you got to pay me 4 hour minimum. But now it's just a day rate because now it kind of guarantees like, hey, you know what? Do you need me for the day? You got me for the day. So whatever happens, I'm here.
Cool, cool. Well, that kind of catches, since you're already kind of talking about today on the audio world, are you doing much of the audio more, or are you more leaning towards the real estate side of things nowadays?
I am leaning into real estate a lot more nowadays, and I like that. Real estate's always been a passion for me. Audio engineering, I feel like is is the hobby, and real estate is like the passion,
Cool.
the long term goal. So yeah, I mean, real estate's been definitely keeping me busy.
Yeah, it can be the full-time job, that's for certain. What kind of things are you doing now? Since you're out of condos now, walk me through a few things that you do like nowadays.
Sure. So I have 3 duplexes now, two single families, and then uh, short-term rental, which I kind of pivoted to midterm rental. I originally opened this short-term rental as like an Airbnb, right? 3 nights, 4 nights, 5 nights. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that thrive on that, but I switched it over to midterm, so 2 month, 3 month rentals. I love it.
Yep.
I love that. It's still high dollar rent because it's fully furnished down to the spoon, but a lot less like in and out, cleaning sheets, people coming in,
Yeah.
people coming out. Uh, Move in for 3 months, use my furniture, pay for it, and then I mean it's just much more stable. I like the midterm rentals.
Is there a certain kind of person that you see mostly doing those, like a traveling nurse? Are you getting a lot of those, or is it all walks of life doing those kind of midterms?
I bet it depends on location. So my particular midterm rental is really close to North Memorial Hospital.
Uh-huh.
And like my last tenants were anesthesiologists that needed 3 month stay, and they actually already booked again 3 months in the fall.
There you go.
They moved out. My next tenants are staying for 2 months. They're in between houses. They're like selling their house. They need a place to stay for 2 months, and then they're moving into their new house.
Very
So,
cool.
so yeah, sometimes health related people, and sometimes just we need a place to stay for a couple months.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Yeah. The idea of midterm sounds a lot more appealing to me, like you said, than the short term day. That takes a lot of managing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I do have like cleaners that come in. I have a gardener. I have you know, maintenance techs, but yeah, midterm is just a lot less hands-on than short-term rental, that's for sure.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, obviously you're a very busy guy, and I know you have a younger one. Are you? What are some tips and stuff that you're finding to get that balance between work and your personal?
I am really leaning into partnerships. I used to do real estate just by myself. I think that was simpler. And I viewed partnerships as like, ooh, I don't want someone else involved in my decisions. I don't want, I just want decisions to be easy, quick, one mind involved. But I think for bigger projects, so like right now I'm under contract for an industrial bay property in St. Cloud.
Uh-huh.
And that's going to be a partnership. And, when you have a bigger deal, and you have 3 partners, for example, maybe one of them is really good at finding a deal, negotiating the deal. Another person's really good at underwriting. Another person's really good at maybe managing the deal and finding tenants. So I mean, that's your team right there. That's 3 people
Yeah.
that um, if you're great at underwriting, but you're horrible at dealing with tenants, you're not customer service friendly, maybe I mean that's a partner that you could
Yeah.
bring on and fill that weakness.
Yeah, don't look for someone exactly like yourself, right? You need someone, obviously you need to be like-minded in a goal, but maybe not necessarily the strengths that you all like you said, fill the holes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well,
Also, like partnerships and finding, time to
you get that
spend time
time
with your
back with,
family.
yeah.
A little bit, right? Because let's say there's an inspection on Wednesday at 3. Oh, I can't make it. Partner A, can you make it? Partner B, can you make that inspection? So you do have someone else to lean on, and vice versa.
Yeah, it's there's something like you said, the initial thought of I take all these responsibilities, it's going to go a lot smoother. In reality, it's just too much on one person's shoulder. So bringing on a team of people, in my opinion, is the way to go as well.
Agreed.
Very cool, Eric. Well, I appreciate all your times and the insights you gave us there. If anyone wants to connect with you, what are basically plug yourself? Where are some places that they could get a hold or see what you're doing?
Send me an email. I am working on a website that sort of shows my portfolio. I'm not there yet. I don't have it yet, but I do want a website that people can go to, and it just has a portfolio, right? And
Okay.
it's good to have for lenders too.
Yeah, absolutely. They all want to see it, right?
Yeah,
So what is a good email address someone could reach out to you at?
sure. DwyerErik@gmail.com. D as in David, WYERERIK@gmail.
Awesome. Well, appreciate your time again, Eric. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure.
Know someone with serious grit and a great growth story? Send them our way at grittogrowthpodcast.com/guest.